Hunter Biden is on Capitol Hill today. In fact, as we speak, Hunter Biden is, well, he's not appearing, he's not testifying, but he is there for a hearing, calling him out for contempt of Congress for refusing to adhere to his congressional subpoena. And we've got a little bit of footage from that hearing. However, there's another part of the Hunter Biden corruption that connects directly to the White House that we want to lay out for you. Because as you know, Hunter Biden is an artist. I mean, just look at this. That's some incredible work. That in fact is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That piece of beautiful work there. That is a Hunter Biden original. And as you know, Hunter Biden, the son of the president, as soon as Joe Biden, his dad, became president, he suddenly began auctioning off and selling his art for a ton of money. And some people raise some ethical concerns. Well, yesterday on Capitol Hill, his art broker appeared. Now, here's a quick look of him appearing and entering the hearing room, and a reporter asked him a couple of questions.
Mr. Burgess, can you tell me how you and Hunter Biden first met? Would you be able to tell me who facilitated the, which donors bought the paintings?
Yeah, he seems pretty trustworthy, doesn't he? He doesn't seem like he has anything to hide. I mean, if he's just the art broker and his job is to just facilitate the sales of these pieces of art, why would he not want to comment to a reporter? Why couldn't he ask a simple question? This is how I met Hunter Biden. I was so captivated by his stunning and incredible artwork that I just had to reach out to him and work out a deal because I needed to share that art with the rest of the world. I mean, that should have been the answer, right? But it's just no comment. It's no comment. Well, let me remind you really quickly exactly what the White House did here, because it's a real piece of sleight of hand. And I want to lay this out for you because everything that we hear about Hunter Biden, sometimes it gets confusing. This isn't confusing at all. Hunter Biden is making money from people who directly benefit from the Biden presidency. And it's a way for people who want to get close to the president and who want to have influence and power with the president or with the Democratic Party. This is a way for them to get it by funneling tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to the president's son. Here's Jen Psaki. Oh, I miss Jen Psaki, don't you? She was laying out exactly what the ethical protocols would be.
Mm-hmm. Did the White House play any role in crafting the sales agreement with the New York Gallery to protect the purchasers or the ultimate purchaser's identity?
Well, I can tell you that after careful consideration, a system has been established that allows for Hunter Biden to work in his profession within reasonable safeguards. Of course, he has the right to pursue an artistic career, just like any child of a president has the right to pursue a career.
Yeah, I do love it when they do that. He has a right to pursue a career just like any other child of a president. It makes it sound like he's, 14 years old and he wants a paper route. The guy's over 50, okay? We have no concern about a person, a child, an adult child of a president pursuing a career. It's the details is where the devil lies here, Jen. Stop calling him the president's child, for crying out loud.
But all interactions regarding the selling of art and the setting of prices will be handled by a professional gallerist adhering to the highest industry standards. And any offer out of the normal course would be rejected out of hand. And the gallerist will not share information about buyers or prospective buyers, including their identities with Hunter Biden or the administration, which provides quite a level of protection and transparency.
Okay, now what you just heard is a critically important detail. This was the party line. This is what the White House, obviously that's the spokesperson for the White House. And when ethical questions were raised about how Hunter Biden was going to make money selling art, you just heard the details. There will be a third-party broker or gallerist in place to handle the transactions, and they will all be anonymous. Now, that broker, that gallerist, is this guy who just testified before the Oversight Committee. His name is Georges Berger. Now, I think his name is George Berger, or Berg, perhaps. But when you're dealing in art, you have to put accents everywhere and make it sound like you're French. So George Berge ended up being Georges Berger. You make more money that way. But I want you to focus on what was just said here, what was said to the American people and the media about how these transactions would go.
Course would be rejected out of hand, and the gallerists will not share information about buyers or prospective buyers, including their identities with Hunter Biden or the administration.
You see, this is all an anonymous process. The gallerist, and so here's how it was painted for everybody. Okay, Hunter Biden makes the crappy little piece of art, sends it to the gallery or to the broker, and that's it. And he's done. He walks away. He goes and smokes his crack. It doesn't matter what he does. Okay. The gallery then gets the offers from potential art lovers who really want to hang that stuff on their wall. They purchase the art from the broker, and neither Hunter Biden nor the White House ever even knows who bought it. The broker just, takes his commission and then sends the rest of the money to the artist, and everything's finished. Wash your hands, completely ethical and perfect. If Hunter Biden never knows the identity of the person buying their art, there's no way that he can provide favors or influence or deliver messages back to the president or anything like that, right? All the stuff that he did back when Joe was vice president and he was making money from communist China and Russia and Ukraine and Kazakhstan and other nefarious actors around the world. He can't do that anymore now that Joe's president. It'll all be anonymous, and everyone will be removed from the process except for that art broker. That's what we were told. That's what Jen Psaki just said to you. You saw it. You heard it. So now what happened yesterday on Capitol Hill? Yesterday on Capitol Hill, the House Oversight Committee interviewed that broker, the guy who was going to be in the middle of everything. And they broke down on Twitter exactly the details of what actually took place with the art deals. As you can see, it turns out the vast majority of Hunter Biden's art has been purchased by Democrat donors. Okay, well, that's fine, right? I mean, just because they're Democrat donors, it doesn't matter since the entire process is anonymous. Well, not so fast, my friends. The White House said they crafted an agreement to keep Hunter's art buyers confidential to avoid ethical issues, right? We just saw that. But Hunter's art dealer says he had no communication with the White House about that agreement. Yeah. The broker says, well, the White House never told me that. They never told me to keep this anonymous. I never talked to them at all. In fact, Berger admitted Hunter Biden knew the identities of the individuals who purchased roughly 70% of the value of his art. 70% of the proceeds of Hunter Biden's art was sold to people that Hunter Biden was fully aware of and knew. They knew their identities. We were told the exact opposite, that it would all be anonymous. This included big-time Democrat donors like Kevin Morris and Elizabeth Hirsch Naftali. The art dealer, Georges Berger, also revealed that Kevin Morris purchased most of Hunter Biden's art for $875,000 last January. Kevin Morris only paid Berger's 40% commission. 40% commission? My God, I'm in the wrong business. I want 40% of $875,000. That's about 150 grand, right? No, wait. Yeah, no. Wait, 40% is that's about 300,000, excuse me. 350,000. Math is hard. Hunter Biden and Kevin Morris figured out the financial implications. Let me, I just went off on a tangent because of the commission thing. So let me repeat this. Kevin Morris paid Berger the 40% commission of the purchase, and then Hunter Biden and Kevin Morris figured out the rest. You see what happened here? It's not like Kevin Morris walks into the gallery and says, yeah, give me $875,000 of Hunter Biden art. Here's my check. Thank you very much, and walked away. That's what the White House told us was going to happen. No, that's not what happened. Kevin Morris goes over to the art dealer, the broker, pays him his 40% commission, and then he gets together with Hunter Biden personally, the two of them, and they work out the rest of the deal. Who knows how much the rest of that deal was? Who knows what else was thrown in with the art? Okay, here's your $875,000 worth of art. Here's also my dad's phone number, his private secret email address that he uses. Oh, although he's going to be doing a state dinner. Would you like to have a seat at the table of one of the ambassadors that you're doing foreign business with? We don't know. We don't know what else Hunter Biden said or provided for this art transaction. What we do know is this is the exact opposite of what the White House promised. This was supposed to be a completely anonymous transaction that Hunter Biden had no knowledge of. In fact, Hunter Biden arranged for the entire purchase after the art dealer got his commission. It's a complete and total violation. Furthermore, in 2020, Elizabeth Hirsch Naftali did not buy Hunter Biden's art despite Georges Berger's best efforts. Within 2 months of Joe Biden becoming president, so again, in 2020, before the election, she didn't want to buy any of it. Once he became president in February, 1 month after he became president, she bought the first piece of Hunter Biden's artwork for $42,000. Then a few months later, President Biden announced that Ms. Naftali would be appointed to a special commission. The same commission that Biden family associate Eric Sherwin was appointed to during the Obama-Biden administration. And then in December of that year, she purchased more art for $52,000. Hunter Biden's art dealer also stated that he's talked on the phone and met in person with Joe Biden and attended a wedding that the Bidens hosted at the White House. Why? Why would this guy talk on the phone with President Joe Biden? And again, let's remind you what the White House's position was on the ethics involved with these art deals.
Following up on the question about Hunter Biden and his art shows, are there any specific procedures you can tell us that are being put in place to ensure that these conversations remain, as you say, not about the sales? Will he get ethics training? Will he have to report afterwards about the conversations? Anything specific you can tell us about how you are monitoring this?
Well, again, I think it is certainly a commitment that has been made by all parties involved. He is not involved in the sale or discussions about the sale of his art, and he will not be informed of the sale of his art and who is purchasing that art. That is a commitment that's been made, and we expect that all parties would abide by.
In other words, Hunter Biden and the art dealer were on the honor system. Hey, they made this commitment, and we're sure they're going to honor that commitment. Well, what if they don't? Well, we're now at the place where what if occurred. What if they don't honor the commitment? Well, I mean, you would think that maybe there would be some sort of criminal investigation into that. But you would think wrong, because our Justice Department is under the control of Joe Biden, and it is the most corrupt administration in the history of the United States of America. That said, as I mentioned, Hunter Biden is up on Capitol Hill today. Now, they're investigating whether they should hold him in contempt of Congress because he refused to adhere to a subpoena over all the other illegal activities that he and his uncle and his dad, the president, were involved in prior to Joe Biden becoming president. But Democrats, thankfully, they're all over this hearing, and they want to get to the truth, too. Here's Congresswoman Jayapal with her moment, finally talking about the Hunter Biden thing, and let's see what she had to say.
Things. But if we're going to talk about outrageous things that have happened or things that have never happened, let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection and things. But if we're going to talk.
I'm sorry, what did she say? President Trump did a what now?
Things. But if we're going to talk about outrageous things that have happened or things that have never happened, let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection and
hilarious. And if this sounds familiar, I'll remind you that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer kind of said the same thing.
Senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the erection. Senators will.
What's going on here exactly? They seem to be kind of obsessed. I'm sorry, Chuck, he's not going to date you. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe this is actually the root of the problem with the Democrats, who are so obsessed with Donald Trump that it's actually reached the point of sexual obsession. They got to let it go. This does explain the Trump dementia syndrome, though, doesn't it? The Trump derangement syndrome. There's some sort of weird erotic thing going on here, and they can't get past it. Thankfully, the internet is here to button this all up.
Donald John Trump incited the election.
I love you too, but you're not my type.
God, I love this job. And I do love the internet.